Folorunsho and Folashade's meeting was a delightful twist of fate. It was their names that initially drew them together, Folorunsho and Folashade. When they introduced themselves and realized the amusing similarities, they couldn't help but laugh and playfully tease each other. That light-hearted exchange sparked an undeniable connection. They dated for just over a year before tying the knot in a lavish wedding, surrounded by friends and families who celebrated their union with heartfelt joy. But soon after the wedding, things took a turn. Folorunsho's business began to struggle, and Folashade's small online shop wasn't bringing in enough money either. Day by day, their resources dwindled. What started as small sacrifices soon became bigger ones. They ate only one meal a day, patched up their old clothes, and watched as their savings disappear. It wasn't long before they began living from hand to mouth, barely having enough to take them from one day to the next. One evening, a few months later, Folorunsho came home with a different look in his eyes, which Folashade noticed immediately. He was clutching a brown bag close to his chest, his face a mixture of relief and excitement. Without a word, he sat down at their small wooden table and opened the bag. Folashade's eyes widened as she saw a stack of script naira notes inside. "Folorunsho, where did this come from?" she whispered, her voice filled with surprise. "Folashade, today was a day of blessing. I was walking out of the building I went to for the job interview I told you about when I bumped into lled, my childhood friend. It's been years since I last saw him. We greeted each other with joy and he asked how life was treating me. I had to tell him the truth, oh my dear. I told him of our struggles and empty pots. And you won't believe it, Shade. Without a second thought, he pulled me aside, took me to his car, and handed me this bag of money." Folashade's mouth fell open. Just like that? He did not ask for anything in return? "Nothing, oh my dear," Folorunsho replied, shaking his head. He said he couldn't let an old friend suffer and that this was his way of sharing his own blessings. He made me promise only one thing though, that I will use the money wisely. "Hi, Jesus, God bless Mr. lled, oh," Shade said joyfully. As the weeks passed, Folorunsho returned home often with bundles of money, each one a little fuller than the last. Shade couldn't help but notice how their lives were transforming. Their meals were richer, their clothes newer, and their laughter had returned, bringing happiness to their small, modest home. Shade was always grateful and repeatedly said a silent prayer of thanks every night to Mr. lled. However, one evening, Folorunsho entered the house with a different look on his face. He seemed tensed, as if he was carrying a secret too heavy for him to bear. He sat down beside Shade, hesitating before speaking. "Shade," he began slowly, his voice almost a whisper. "There is something I need to tell you." Shade's heart skipped a beat. "What is it, Folorunsho? You can tell me anything." "You know the money I've been bringing home, all of it, month after month? I told you that lled gave it to me, right? Well, there was more to it. lled introduced me to a certain babalawo last week, and he asked the powerful deity who said I would have lots and lots of money. But there was one condition that I needed to fulfill." "What condition, Folorunsho?" Folashade asked, her heart pounding in her chest. The deity demands something. He demands a form of sacrifice every month. Hey, the sacrifice has to be menstrual blood, but not just any menstrual blood. It has to be yours. Shade's eyes widened in horror, her mind reeling at what she had just heard. My menstrual blood? Folorunsho, you mean my... Yes, I know it sounds impossible, but that is the requirement. I did not know. It was when the calabash was opened that I saw your picture inside. I was thinking it was going to be the blood of an animal, or I give money to beggars, but that is what the deity chose. Without it, everything falls apart. The money from Olumide would stop coming because he wouldn't want to associate himself with me again. And you and I, something bad might happen to us. Because the deity said, once I open the calabash, I have to go ahead with the rituals, no matter how hard it is. Folashade was scared. You are telling me this now, after all these months? That means you lied about the money, all of it. No, Shade, I did not lie about the money. Olumide actually gave me all the money I brought home month after month. But he said I could make more and become very, very wealthy, and that we would not lack anything again. That was why I went with him to the Babalawo's place. Shade, see, I did it for us, for you, so that we wouldn't go back to struggling. But we have to do this. See, he said if we give him your menstrual blood, nothing will happen to you and we will have plenty money. Please, my love, I didn't know it was your picture that would show in the calabash. Shade was heartbroken. She did not agree at first to what Folorunsho said, but when Folorunsho fell strangely ill when she was on her period, which had never happened before, she knew something was wrong. So she quickly went to search the trash can and gave him a used menstrual pad for that month. Hence, month after month, Shade gave her menstrual blood to her husband as he requested. Shade watched her dreams of having a child slowly slipped away, and she often thought of what could have been. Each month, she thought, maybe I would have gotten pregnant by now. Maybe my pregnancy could have been 3 months old. But each time, Folorunsho always reassured her, we have everything we need, Shade. Wealth, comfort, and most importantly, each other. A child isn't necessary, and see, I am not complaining. After the first few months of giving Folorunsho her menstrual blood, the change in their fortune was undeniable. Money flowed like an endless river, and prosperity seemed to dance at their doorstep. Folorunsho, with his newfound wealth, bought not one but 2 luxurious cars. Their modest runtown house was replaced by a magnificent mansion gleaming white with tall pillars. The house had sprawling gardens where beautiful flowers blossomed and a sparkling fountain stood proud on the courtyard. Folashade and Folorunsho even owned properties in other towns, 2 rental homes that fetched a tidy sum of money each month. Life from the outside looked like a fairy tale, a life that others could only dream of. People envied them and worshipped them because of what they could benefit from them. But while Folorunsho and Shade's life looked heavenly to people from the outside, shadows lingered on the inside. At family gatherings, she would see the way Folorunsho's mother hid her belly and the disapproving shake of her head followed by a loud hiss. It has been years now, Folashade. Shakpere Nieni, her mother-in-law would say with a sharp tone that made Folashade's heart feel heavy. When will you give us grandchildren? No. Oshiwada bi omi adagun bayi. Before Shade could answer, Folorunsho would step in just in time, wrapping his arms around her and pulling her close. His voice would be gentle, soothing like a warm blanket on a cold night. Mother, he would always say, God's timing is the best. Shade is the love of my life, and we are fine just as we are. Folorunsho's defense was always unwavering, his affection constant, and in those moments of hurt, Shade would cling to the comfort Folorunsho offered, even as her own doubt gripped at her heart. As the days went by, and as much as she tried to mask it, Shade's unhappiness grew like a silent storm. Months after months, she honored the ritual and watched as her husband thrived. Folorunsho's life had become a dazzling display of wealth and prosperity, an unfolding dream that the entire town marveled at. The humble days were but a distant memory, and Folorunsho's heart brimmed with ambition that grew fiercer by the day. He made business deals that spun golden webs around his empire, agreements with wealthy traders from neighboring towns, and investments that yielded more money than the mind could fathom. These agreements were sealed over elaborate banquets, where laughter and toasts rose into the night sky, the very air vibrating with the sound of Folorunsho's success. Oh, house helps were everywhere like busy hands, working tirelessly to maintain the opulence of his home. There were cooks who labored over roaring fire to prepare delicacies that tempted the senses. Gardeners who kept the sprawling lawns as lush as a jungle paradise, and stewards who ensured that not a speck of dust marred the marble floors. Every corner of Folorunsho's mansion whispered of his newfound success. Folorunsho was growing, his ambition soaring with wings of gold. Yet, amid all the grandeur, Shade's spirit dimmed the more like the fading light of a lantern. The wealth that enveloped her home only seemed to bring her more pain. It would start subtly with bouts of fatigue and tiredness. She would wake up in the mornings feeling as though she hadn't slept at all, her limbs heavy and aching. The tiredness soon turned into something much more. Every month, just as she handed Folorunsho her used pads, she would fall strangely ill. Her body, once vibrant and full, would begin to change. She would grow thinner and thinner, her once rounded cheeks now hollow, her eyes sunken, dark circles masking the beauty that used to light up any room. Her clothes would no longer fit, and they would hang on her frame like curtains draped over a withering tree. And oh, how Folashade tried to hide it. She would pile her hair up high and put up bright scarves to mask the pallor of her skin. She would force smiles and laugh too brightly when guests came over. Sometimes, especially on the last day of her period, she would tell Folorunsho to lie that she was not around, just because she did not want their guests to see how skinny she had been in those few days. She became a ghost in her own mansion, retreating to the shadows when visitors came, terrified of the pitying glances they might throw her way. She would on such days quietly sit alone by the large window overlooking the estate, where she could hear the clamor of house helps in the courtyard, the chatter of wealthy visitors, and the triumphant echoes of Folorunsho's laughter. His success stories were endless. A new contract to supply the entire region with imported goods, an investment in a thriving textile company, and a partnership with merchants from across the oceans. Shade hid so badly that even their house helps, loyal and plentiful as they were, knew to tread softly around the lady of the house around a certain time of each month, but they never knew why. They whispered among themselves, worried about their madam, who hid herself only to resurface 6 days later. How had she come to this? Shade couldn't deny that this mysterious illness seemed to be tied to the very ritual that had brought them so much wealth. But how could she stop? Folorunsho had assured her time and time again that everything was fine, that their sacrifices were minimal compared to the blessings they now enjoyed. He would kiss her forehead, call her his queen, and remind her of all the good things they had achieved. In those moments, Shade would feel tears slipping down her cheeks because she couldn't remember the last time she felt true happiness untainted by worry and pain. Was this the price she had to pay? She continually asked herself. One quiet evening, Shade was walking to the kitchen when she saw their bedroom door slightly ajar. She paused to close it, wondering how it was opened when she heard her husband's voice as he talked on the phone. His voice was low, yet audible as he spoke in a hushed tone. Shade's curiosity was piqued. She leaned closer to go in, but paused when she heard the conversation. "Yes, I do everything as instructed," Folorunsho said with a confident tone. "Every single month she gives it to me. She has no idea what is really happening." Shade felt the hair thicken around her as her husband chuckled softly. Of course, she doesn't know, and she would never find out, that if something were to happen to me, the ritual would be nullified. How would she find out safe? Ha! I have no intention of letting her find out now, Olumide. Shade felt bad. Of course, she wouldn't want anything bad to happen to her husband. But why did he leave out that part when he told her everything else about the rituals and the consequences? Why, she wondered as she walked quietly to the kitchen. 2 nights later, Folorunsho was fast asleep and his phone was lying on the bed beside him. Shade reached out to tuck it away, but just as she lifted it, a message popped up on the screen. "Good night, my love. Our little one won't stop asking when you will visit again. He misses his papa. We love you, my dear." Shade's hands froze, her heart racing as she read the words again, her mind struggling to accept what she was seeing. She gently placed the phone down, feeling the sharp sting of betrayal settling deep within her. Folorunsho as a child with another woman? This was the height of betrayal she had ever felt. She was here, unable to have their child because of his decision, but he went ahead to father a child with another woman? Driven by fierce determination, Shade decided to uncover the identity of the other woman. After days of monitoring his phone, discreetly piecing clues together and getting the other woman's number, she discovered the painful truth. The other woman was none other than Abeni, a former colleague. Shade was shocked. She and Abeni had once shared an office and even went as far as confided in each other. Abeni had known Folorunsho from the days of when she worked at the same company with her. She had even introduced them, and Abeni had attended her wedding. So how come she has a child for her husband? How did they meet again? How long have they been dating? Where do they meet? These and many more questions were the questions on Shade's mind. Day after day, this discovery was like a dagger to her heart, reopening wounds she had tried to close. Betrayal weighed heavily on her mind. Unable to contain her bitterness, Shade began to demand money from her husband. She made requests relentlessly, asking for more each time and watching as he handed over the funds without questions. Folorunsho, eager to keep her happy and suspecting, also complied, not realizing that Shade had a plan of her own brewing. One evening, she sent Abeni a friendly invitation. "Come for dinner," she said, her tone light and welcoming. Shade went ahead to mention that Folorunsho would be there as well, and Abeni, out of confidence, simply agreed. Now, Shade had reconnected with Abeni a few weeks back and never hinted to her that she knew she has a child for her husband. She had even invited Abeni over to the house for dinner the previous week alongside her husband and reintroduced them, of which Abeni and Folorunsho both acted like they did not know one another. That was why Abeni never suspected a thing when Shade invited her again for dinner with her husband. 2 days later, on a rainy evening, Abeni came over. The table was set and Shade served the dishes with a quiet smile, concealing the storm raging inside of her. She had prepared each dish herself with so much love and compassion. As her husband and Abeni ate, she watched silently, her face calm, her heart steady. Each bite they took felt like a step closer to her freedom. When dinner was concluded and the effects of the poison began to take hold, Shade quietly opened up to both of them about all she knew. She said she knew Folorunsho's death nullifies the ritual, and also that she knew about Abeni and Folorunsho's secret child together. She went ahead and told them that she had poisoned their food because she wanted to be free. After all, she was the source of Folorunsho's wealth and he had betrayed her and would continue to betray her. She couldn't continue like this. No, she couldn't. Having said that, Shade watched as both Abeni and Folorunsho sprawled to the floor, getting limp. Then she quietly excused herself and locked the door behind her. Now, what Folorunsho did not know was that Shade had arranged everything down to the last detail. She had requested huge sums of money from him in the last couple of weeks, which he had quietly obliged her because of a day like this. Folorunsho never asked her what she wanted all the money for. After all, she was the source of the immense wealth he had, so why should he question why she needed so much money? Shade walked majestically to her room and carried her box which she had secretly packed the night before. She instructed the maids as she left that Folorunsho and his guest did not want to be disturbed until tomorrow morning. With a pained spirit and a crushed soul, she headed directly to the airport. That very night, Shade left the country, catching the midnight flight that she had prepared for days before. As the plane took off, Shade looked out of the window, feeling a weight lifting from her soul. The life she had left behind was filled with deceit and betrayal, but in the skies above, she felt a strange sense of peace. She had freed herself from Folorunsho's dark web, and now she was so free to start anew. The moral of this story is that trust is very fragile and must be treated with care, for betrayal can lead even the gentlest hearts to seek justice on their own terms. It reminds us that when we deceive or exploit others, we risk not only losing their trust, but also facing consequences that can unravel everything that we have gained. Thank you for joining me on this story. I appreciate your attentive ears. Please support us by giving this video a thumbs up and also liking and subscribing. It won't take much of your time, but it is going to help us to grow. Thank you once again.